Namaste. Welcome to episode 7 of Vicharsthal, a show about taking inspiration from your ideation. Today's topic is a very, very important topic. I feel it's a taboo topic, especially I think in our society where so much of stress is always given to, procreation. I mean, the first question you meet, somebody after a long time, and they're always asking about, when are you planning kids or when are you, want to have kids. So I think when you are living in such a society, fertility health issues can truly impact you in more ways than one. I think this is something that we truly need to not just talk about, but also understand. I'm sure there are many myths, many misunderstandings also related to it, which is why I was very keen on having a session on this topic. And who else better than Gitanjali Banerjee to talk to us about it? She is a friend, of course. I met her once during an event, but I have truly loved the work she's been doing. She's very inspiring in many ways, and I'm sure you will learn a lot from her today, and we will be enriching ourselves. Let's get her on stream without wasting any more time. Hi, Gitanjali.
Hi, Anupama. Thank you so much for inviting me to your beautiful platform and such a lovely introduction you gave.
Thank you. Thank you. No, you totally deserve it. And just for the sake of our audience, I will just give a quick introduction of the work that Gitanjali does. So, Gitanjali Banerjee is a content manager by profession, travel blogger by passion, and social entrepreneur by life's calling. After struggling with infertility for 10 years, she decided to do something to change how infertility is perceived and managed in our Indian society. She founded Fertility Dost, which is India's only and trusted platform for managing fertility health. Internationally awarded and acclaimed, the startup is touching many lives to create a perfect environment and to remove the stigma around infertility with an empathetic and holistic approach. Gitanjali, I think, like I was saying, even, when I was introducing this topic, that I think this is something which we really need to not just talk about, but I know, there are many things I think we can probably understand better as well, about fertility and about fertility issues. But let me just begin from the beginning. So, of course, we do, understand that you also struggled with it for many years, and probably that is a major reason why you probably, started Fertility Dost. But what was the trigger point? So, if you could just talk about, how exactly the idea of doing this for others also, come into your mind.
Anupama, the trigger point was the journey itself because the journey
Mm.
is something which is very, very traumatic. And because it is socially tabooed and because it is, not very openly spoken about, it's a
Right.
fragmented space, it's a very complex thing. And it is not just you, but there are two people involved in it. You and your husband
Right.
both are going
Right.
through it.
Right.
There's a complex emotions. So when I went through my journey and when throughout the journey I was contemplating and I was meeting so many other women, I was seeing the gaps in the whole process and experiencing it firsthand. And because I was a content person and the
Right.
only way I know how to vent out is to write, so I had a diary full of venting out both sadness and joys and a lot of things. And when my
Right.
son was born, I was full of gratitude that at one point of my journey, doctors had said that you should not even try to conceive naturally because it might be harmful for you. And so my whole family was scared, and I was told that enough is enough now, don't even try. So from going from that low point to finally having my own child and experiencing pregnancy and beautiful motherhood and a healthy child was for me a journey full of gratitude. So I started to think that one, why did God give me this pain? And it was quite a painful journey of miscarriages and a lot of complications, and I had a brush with ovarian cancer also. So why did he give me such complex emotions to process? And then at one point I came to realize that maybe God wanted me to experience this because through me he wanted to help more women who are silently suffering into this. And so this gratitude and this constantly asking myself that why was I given this pain and what can I do now, because now that I have my child, I somehow wasn't able to, satisfy myself to the fact that अब मेरा बच्चा तो हो गया अभी क्या, it's okay, no, let me just manage my own life. I was constantly wanting to pay back that gratitude which God had blessed me with, and this is the only thing I knew to do, was to blog and write, and but so that was the main trigger point. And at one point, the fire was so much that I wanted to do something, but I was also scared at the point, because at that point only my very close family knew about this problem. And when I have to go out and ask you to share your problem or to listen to
Right.
me, I have to very transparently, openly, and vocally talk about my journey, which was not easy
Of
at
course.
that point of time. So, yeah, so that's how the journey began. And finally, after sitting over this idea for almost 1.5, 2 years, I said, it wouldn't let me sleep for so many nights. I would be constantly thinking, कि करूँ क्या, करूँ कि नहीं करूँ, करूँ कि नहीं करूँ. And then I said, okay, let me start. देखा
Hmm.
जाएगा जो. And then from there,
Right.
we just kept growing strength to strength.
Great. That's really, I think I really like the point that you said about, that maybe sometimes, we are meant to do something like, you said that you felt that probably, yes, it happened. And that's really a beautiful way of looking at it. And I'm really glad that, you finally did take the plunge and have been able to touch so many lives. But tell me after that, how, okay, so you, of course, decided to, do something on in this space. But then what was the exact approach you've been taking, to help people with fertility issues? So if you could talk a little bit about the approach at Fertility Those, what are the things that you had to take care of? Because I'm sure, you may want, like, you might have got doctors on board and many other aspects that need to be taken care of. So if you could talk a little bit about this execution and, how you went about actually planning for achieving this, the vision that you had.
So, Anupama, the first thing which with which I started the concept of fertility dose was that there is a need to tell women that you are not alone. Because this
Right.
is one thing which I was constantly feeling through my journey. And when I came out of the journey and I researched, I found out that there are 33 million women who go through fertility issues, which is almost 1 in 4 couples, which
Right.
can be in a form of a miscarriage or a light brush with infertility, or some struggles with trying to conceive either your first child or your second child. So with these are big numbers, and people, if this is such a big number, then why is there so much of hush hush around it? So
Yes.
that was the main premise with which I started. The first execution point was awareness and education. So that filling that gap of awareness, तो वो fill
Yes.
करने के लिए, one, we started talking about all aspects of fertility health. We started talking about researching big time, collaborating with a lot of people, doing events, ground level events, activations. So ये करा, community को strong बनाया, and just the niche community. So our community is very tightly knit community of women, a very safe space for women to talk about these issues, because it's a very sensitive, very personal issue, and it is very difficult for anyone to just open up. And once they open up, they need a certain sense of security and anonymity. So we create, so that was the first execution step. Now when we did this, our community members said कि आपने हमें बता तो दिया कि what
Hmm.
is correct, what is wrong, या हमें ऐसा करना चाहिए, वैसा करना चाहिए, but then how to do it? So now I know what to do, but then how to do it? There
Right.
are a lot of decisions taken. So then our second execution started, and me and my team started deeply thinking कि क्या कर सकते हैं? Because we are not an IVF clinic, we don't want to be an IVF clinic
Hmm.
or any fertility clinic. We are not experienced. We come from the base of users who have been through themselves and wanting to help others. So
Hmm.
that's how we then came to our second pillar of fertility dose, which is fertility coach programs. So these
Hmm.
programs are a holistic integrative approach where we have combined through research and a lot of collaboration with doctors from alternative treatment methodologies, and second opinion of gynae and IVF, and a lot of IVF doctors as well. So what we figured out is 70% of these issues of fertility health, whether it is not able to conceive, or PCOS, endometriosis, tubal blockage, low AMH, and a lot of
Right.
similar issues of reproductive health. These are basically 70% of them are lifestyle related, and mostly stress and lifestyle related. And this can be very easily managed through a combination of things. So we have included Ayurveda, acupressure, nutrition, yoga, and then we have a personalized coach. So what we do is we make a fertility planner based on what
Okay.
exactly your requirement is and your goal is. And somebody might come ki, I have PCOS and I want to manage it. So we help them accordingly. Some come with male infertility. Some come with, we just want to conceive naturally and we want to know a good way to have a healthy pregnancy and healthy child.
Right.
So we help. So our funda is very clear. Whatever you want, whatever your goal, we will tell you these are the ways. You choose the ways, and then we will guide you and monitor and manage it. So सबसे बड़ा problem क्या होता है? पता तो हमें भी सब कुछ होता है. Google Mata is there to tell us everything.
Exactly.
But but still the problem is in following it up, and the problem is
Yes.
it in the personalization. Your height, weight, your lifestyle will require a very different approach of food and what my lifestyle might require. So these are the nuances that we have brought into the coach program. So this is the
Okay.
second level of execution. And the final third thing is that we have created a peer support network. So we
Lovely.
have these women who have been through the journey already, whether it's a PCOS or a conception or a IVF journey, and then they become our dost mommies, and they then support the new women who are joining the community by creating that circle of hope and
Hmm.
trust. So these are the few execution points which we are working on.
Great, great. That's a really good, I would say, a very systematic as well as an empathetic way to go about it, like you said. And I think the name Fertility Dost is so apt because like you said, it's not like a clinic exactly, right? So I think that term of Dost just conveys what you actually stand for. So that was a really good choice. Was it your idea, the name of Fertility Dost?
Okay, so that's an interesting story. When I started कि it should reach the people. So I coming from a content background, तो SEO वाला कीड़ा था दिमाग में. तो because I
Okay,
was writing, because I was
interesting.
writing, so because I was writing about infertility, so our initial name was, and doस्त I was very clear कि I have to create system of a friend. I am not a doctor. I don't want to intimidate you. I don't want to, tell you कि what is right or
Right.
wrong for you. I just want to be a friend who wants to listen. अगर आपको help चाहिए तो help करेंगे, नहीं help चाहिए तो सिर्फ सुनेंगे. So दोस्त वर्ड तो क्लियर था. अभी आगे का वर्ड क्या होगा ये बड़ा कंफ्यूजन था. तो उस टाइम पे I started with infertility दोस्त. And then within a year when we started growing in numbers, a lot of my community members said that it is giving a little morbid feeling कि infertility word थोड़ा सा वो है,
Hmm.
थोड़ा सा नेगेटिव है, इसको पॉजिटिव करो. सो वी वेंट थ्रू अ लॉट ऑफ इनिशियल जो हमारा सर्कल टीम मेंबर्स थे, वी वेंट थ्रू अ लॉट ऑफ आइडियाज कि क्या करे क्या करे. एंड somehow I wanted to, my vision is to reach to tier 2 tier 3 cities, the smaller towns, because I know for
Yes,
sure that the social stigma taboo part is much higher there. So I
of
wanted to
course.
have a Hindi angle to it also. So keeping all these considerations and a very, so then I came up कि infertility का in हटा दो. ठीक है, तो
हाँ.
वो पॉजिटिव लग जाएगा फर्टिलिटी. और हिंदी में देन माय क्रिएटिव डिजाइनर, लोगो डिजाइनर, वेरी वेरी नाइस लेडी शुभा, एंड शी देन सेड कि आई नो यू आर, मतलब तुम इतनी जल्दी तो खुश होने वाली नहीं हो. So she worked with me for almost 2-3 weeks, and then we came up with this idea of fertility ka fa is in Hindi. So that's how we kind of say that we are very
Lovely.
rooted in Indian systems. And that's what one of the things we want to say is what we guide and suggest is very Indian rooted, and that's why we took solace in Ayurveda or nutrition, where principles are based
Right.
on the Ayurveda and naturopathy principles. So we want to highlight the beauty of these sciences. So that's how
Right,
the
right,
name.
right, right. Lovely. I think that was a very interesting story, actually. And I think it makes so much sense, actually, to give it, like you said, that Indian rooted approach, because obviously the issues and everything, like I think every, I mean, our country has to, I mean, I think the way we help out, it should be the way it, I mean, the people are. So of course it makes sense to have that kind of an approach, and I think that's really wonderful. And no, Gitanjali, I'm sure that when you started off, like, and there must have been numerous challenges, like all the ventures we all face when we start. So with you particularly, what were the key challenge areas? It could be on finances, or maybe with respect to getting the right people on board, or it could just be with respect to kind of because of the concept itself, I mean, maybe reaching out. So they could have been multiple challenges. So yeah, if you could just share what were your challenges, and also how you then finally overcame them.
So first challenge was, as you rightly said, with the concept itself. So it's very difficult to find people, and my vision is, and I'm thankful that now I'm coming closer to the vision, is that we should have a women team, women power team.
Mhm.
So I was looking for women who would join me and work on this. One of the instances which I always quote in discussions is that there was this girl, young girl, unmarried girl, and very enthusiastic, enterprising girl, and we discussed and everything was clear, and I wanted her to join my team as a digital and all this marketing person. And for 1 week, 10 days, she was very enthusiastically working and learning. But after 10 days, she suddenly came to me and she said that, Getanjali, I cannot work with you. I said, what happened? What went wrong within 10 days? And it was so energetic. So she
Right.
was, nahi, kuch hai, and she wasn't telling me. Then I pushed her to let me know. I said, I need to have a proper understanding so that I can
Right.
fill that
Right.
gaps. And then
Right.
she said, when my parents came to know that I'm working with this, and that time we were infertility dose. So she
Ah.
said that when I'm working with this, so my parents are saying that, we are looking for your marriage, and if somebody comes to know that you're working with this, they will think that you also have the problem. So it
Yeah.
will be a hindrance in your marriage. So that was a very big setback for me. Not just that she didn't work, it's okay. She didn't work, I respect her, stand, but that means how am I perceived? So
Yes. Yes.
how
Right.
will I,
Oh my
how
God.
will I ever grow in
Right.
this kind
Right.
of environment? So I can't tell you, it was a very low point for me. Ki if this is the starting point, then how am I going to scale it up or whatever? So then, with God's grace and with a lot of changes, like the name change, the rebranding change, and somehow I think this persistence of keep on doing it, pushing the barriers, and
Right.
lot of women. Now I'm very happy that in my team we have about 30% of them who are unmarried, even so young, as in they are, in the colleges and still studying in BTech and MTech,
Lovely. That's lovely.
and they are very happy to be a part of the team. And the way they ideate and they brainstorm, sometimes we take a seat back and they would say, ma'am, in this generation, it is this way you have to tell, you cannot, we
Correct.
have to this and that. And so it's a very good change from there to here. So that was one initial challenge. Even now,
Mhm.
still hiring is always a big challenge, right? Finding
Of
the right
course.
person at the right salary, because you are bootstrapping, so it is very difficult to give them the actual salary that they deserve, and to keep them motivated, and to compensate with other motivations is
Of
very
course.
a very difficult
Of course.
challenge.
I'm sure. I'm
so
sure.
so that was one thing. And secondly, I am a first gen entrepreneur. I had no idea what entrepreneurship is. I come from a completely corporate background of drawing a salary at the end of the month. So
Right.
I never had an idea what this is happening. Just the Kida of startup, as you may say. Even startup word was also not familiar to me. I just thought that I have to do something in this
Something.
field.
Yes.
And by chance, by luck, the first application that I filled was for an IIT, has a program for women entrepreneurship, and that was a very initial stages. Like I had just launched my website and a blog, and it was just a blog and nothing else at that time. And I
Hmm.
don't know, somehow these mentors who were judging the IIT, Dr. Sarandeep and Aparna, they found my idea good, and they connected with me and they took the interview, and I gave the interview and everything. And when I met them in the interview, they asked me, what do you want to do? I said, this is my journey, and I want to do something in fertility segment. What? How, I don't know, but I want to do something, and this is my life's calling. Even if it is giving lectures or researching or doing a PhD or writing a book, I don't know, but I'm going to do something in this field for life now. And I think from that's the point it started. And then they mentored me for 6 months. We had classes, and fertility dose was able to win the gold prize, gold medal, and a
Mm.
grant of that.
Wow.
And they believed in my vision, they believed in my spirit, and they guided me. So from there, then I've been a part of a lot of entrepreneurship accelerator programs, incubation programs. So now I'm learning step of the way. So that was the second challenge of learning. What are the things, the legalities of
Right.
it, the approach of it, the marketing. So I have burnt a lot of fingers and still learning, but
Right.
I'm
Right.
happy.
Right. Great.
So
Great.
yeah, these were the two big challenges. Finance is always a challenge. If you talk about finance, the funding is always a challenge. A woman entrepreneurship led startup is very difficult to convince the VCs. Working in a niche segment, in the femtech segment, it's very
Yes.
difficult to convince that there is a scale to it. Of course, we don't have a scale like an Amazon or a Flipkart, and we don't want to be like them, because not everyone should be like them.
Yes. Right. Right.
So to convincing that, but still we have a revenue model and we propose things, and it's the impact that we are creating. So this
Yes.
is now the biggest challenge when we are trying to scale up. So maybe through your platform, I want to make an appeal. So if you're listening, please connect with me and see if social impact is something which makes sense to you. And yeah.
Yes. Yes, yes. It's very important, I think, because like you rightly said, not every venture is meant to, like be that big venture with a great scale or, the margins. I think, yes, we have to look at the social impact. That is something, especially for, I think, an issue like this, it's very important that, we give it its due. I think we really need to do something on this. So, yes, everybody watching in the audience, if you think you can help in any way, please feel free to reach out to Gitanjali. I'm sure, some synergy can be worked out, and even financially, or even otherwise, like in any way that you feel you can probably help and support, do reach out. And also, if you have any questions, or if you just want to share your comments on the topic of discussion, please do so. So now, Gitanjali, like coming to the taboo. So of course, I think we don't need to say that in our society, a woman is judged by the ability to reproduce kids. I mean, it's always about and it's it's, I think, in some sections of the society it is subtle, and in some sections, of course, it's really bad, where she's outcast if she's not able to deliver, and also the degrees vary. But I think that taboo to some extent is definitely there almost everywhere. Even with people around us, it's always about अरे बच्चा नहीं हुआ तो क्या कर सकते. I mean, we just create so much of a that mental pressure, that kind of an emotional upheaval, what a couple may go through because of the way the society looks at it. So I think so because of this, I feel that fertility health, because of that, doesn't obviously just get restricted to the physical problems, but then of course there are mental health issues as well because of it, and I'm sure you know it best, because you've been dealing with it yourself and have been talking to so many people who have gone through it. So from that angle, if you could just talk a little bit about that, what are the different ways in which these couples struggle, like when it comes to fertility issues, what are the challenges, and are people now really reaching out for help, or is there like still hesitation?
Okay, so that's a beautiful question. When you say that, what are the challenges that these couples go through? So the challenges are from all over. The societal
Okay.
taboo, stigma, financial challenges, because the cost of these treatments are very, very high, and
Okay.
a couple typically spends about 4 to 6 lakhs in this journey if they are stuck badly.
Oh my God.
Then a couple stays in this journey for about 2 to 10 years,
Mhm.
like I was for 10 years. So that's a very long time and a prime youth time of your life. There are many women who leave their jobs. I also did that at one
Mhm.
point, where you are kind of wrongly convinced by society and peers that you are unable to conceive because you are not focusing on yourself but on your career.
Right.
So career oriented women are always pulled down, And if they are infertile, then that becomes an added thing, and then the women gets into a guilt trap, and it is very difficult standing alone at that position to fight out so many things.
Hmm. Right.
Physically, it is an extremely invasive process. There are multiple consultations, multiple times you have to go for testing, diagnosis, injections. Your husband is being tested. So I say that it's not a single. See, आपको कोई भी problem होता है, take any
Right.
disease, it's a single disease, सिंगल पर्सन
Yes.
डिजीज है ना. आपका कुछ भी होगा, हार्ट का प्रॉब्लम है, लंग का प्रॉब्लम है, सिंगल पर्सन. बट फर्टिलिटी इज द ओनली medical issue where it is a combination of two. The problem can be with you, with your husband, or a combination of both of you.
Right.
Also, that becomes a very, very complicated situation to diagnose from a doctor's perspective also. So
Yes.
you need to follow up and follow through for a longer period of time, and that's the reason it takes much more time. तो वो physically invasive भी बहुत है. Then it is
Mhm.
emotionally extremely draining because एक तो वो सोसाइटी आपको जो भी ताने दे रही है, टॉन्ट है, या you were into your own guilt trap or a lot of other things. But
Yes.
this treatment itself has, because there's a lot of artificial hormones also injected while the treatment
Okay.
is happening. So
Okay.
then you, and because infertility is primarily due to hormonal imbalance. So as
Okay.
it is, you are a PCOS patient or a hormonal imbalance patient where you already been experiencing mood swings and frustration and period issues and other issues, and
Yes.
then add on the artificial hormones and so many medicines. They have their side effects, they have their routine. Then sometimes you conceive, then you have a miscarriage, or you think that this IVF will succeed but it doesn't succeed. So you all constantly are in this cycle of hope and depression. So that completely drains you out. So
Yes.
that these are the challenges from for a couple, very difficult challenges, and not only the woman but for the male partner also the challenges are equal. And they are not able to freely talk about it. People will snub them, judge them. They can't talk
Yes.
about it to their peers and office people. Even they can't take leave. I know every woman who's working and who's going through the treatment will tell me this thing only, that I have to go for a checkup or something, and I have to tell my boss that I have to take my mom for a treatment or something. So they're making
Oh,
excuses. They just can't say that I am going for this treatment,
have to go for
because
this.
then
Right.
the boss is going to judge them. Yeah, so these are the things, and these are the challenges that they face through. Now, the second question
Mhm.
that you asked is that, are things changing? So,
Yes.
in people approaching, so with the digitization of things, people are finding it easier to connect with sources, but it has its own drawbacks also. Too much of
Okay.
information with Google Mata is again a very difficult thing, and they end up into very
Yes.
wrong things and wrong
Yes.
understandings and
Yes.
approaches. But when it comes to the society, I have seen both the extremes of the spectrum. I've seen men
Hmm.
who are so proactive that they are the first people who will call us, who will discuss with us, who will make sure that we are genuine people, trustworthy people. They are the ones who will say that, okay, first I will go for the test, and then let my wife go for the test.
Right.
And
Right.
they're very
Right.
caring. They're there for all the sessions, all the programs. They are dutifully following, pampering their wife, taking care. Then there is another spectrum of men who are so much caught up into the patriarchy and the social conditioning that they don't even go
Mhm.
for the basic test. And there's a lot of domestic violence, and there's a lot of other issues.
Mhm.
And I'm not talking about lower income groups. I'm talking about very good upper income group couples
Mm.
also
Mm.
going through a lot of
Mm.
mental harassment, trauma. We have so many cases of women coming to us and saying that, I'm ready for adoption. I'm done with this infertility, done with the treatments. I
Right.
want to adopt, but my family or the husband is not ready. I don't know what to
Right.
do and how to manage it.
Right.
So, yeah, these are the challenges. Things are changing. Metro's mate is changing, but still a long way to go.
Right, right, right. Yeah, that's true. And I think there's this impression that in normal people like us, things are better. But like you rightly said, that it's not really that. I think these kind of taboos and this kind of mindset, I think it's just there everywhere. So Yeah, like you said, long way to go. But I think with the work you're doing, I just hope that yes, someday we are in much better position to support couples who face these problems. So we have, of course, talked quite a bit about the challenges. So if you could share some success stories or some positive feedback that you received from those who worked with you, like something, sometimes things stay with us, right? Some kind of feedback or any kind of success story which you think is something that will stay with you always, if you could share that.
So success wise, though, we have a lot of numbers and lot of cases to share. In our fertility coach program, 95% of women meet the goals with which they come to us, and we are very happy and
Lovely.
proud of it.
Wow.
But the numbers that I am personally very proud of is that in last 1 year we were able to save 5 cases, and
Oh,
so I'll
wow.
just because the depression is so high in these cases that sometimes women find them on the verge of their all their strength. So there's this there was this Sunday, I think it was a Saturday or a Sunday morning, and I was having a lazy breakfast, and we have a chat bot on our fertility those thing, and so I get these notifications on my phone. So it was constantly beeping, which is very normal, so it's okay. It was just the phone was kept aside, and I was having my breakfast while watching TV. Suddenly I see the word suicide, and I was like, what the hell is happening? So I just picked up my phone, and then I saw the conversation, because it's a chatbot, it's an automated thing, so it keeps on answering on its own. But of course, the chatbot is not trained to handle a suicide or a suicide word.
Yes.
And
Of
this I see the message that there's this lady who is writing and saying that, I'm going to commit suicide. I just had my IVF, third IVF failed, and I don't know what to do. I don't want to live anymore, and nobody's helping me. I'm feeling so alone, and I'm going to commit suicide. So I then immediately take over the chatbot, and I tell her that, I'm Gitanjali Banerjee and I have been through the journey. Please talk to me. Tell me what exactly happened. I'm not a chatbot. I'm the human person talking. You give me your number and let me call you, and let's talk about it. She said, no, no, I'm so depressed. I don't want to talk. I just want to die. I then said that, where are you and what are you doing? And where's your husband? She said, my husband is in office. And it's about 11 o'clock. And so she is alone, totally alone in her house, and very risky. And I don't have her number. And I'm trying to talk to her. I'm constantly telling her that, I have been through this. I know how it feels. It's extremely sad, but just think. So somehow I was able to convince her to just drink some water. I said, okay, we'll talk. I don't know whether I'll be able to help you or not. I'll talk, but you just do. Can you see some water or a bottle around you? Just drink some water. So she drank the water, and maybe that really helped her calm down a little
right.
bit. And
Calm
then
down. Yeah.
and then I tried to play a little smart, and I asked her that, this is the link to our WhatsApp, because she was not ready to give her phone number. So I said, this is the link to our WhatsApp group, a closed group. Just join this and see so many other women going through similar journeys, and that will maybe give you some solace. So because she was into a very messed up and stand at that time, she didn't realize that when she joins the WhatsApp group, her number will be visible to us.
Ah, right. Right.
So, and meanwhile, I had prepped my team on the other phone that, this thing is happening, and the moment she joins, please ask all the coaches and all the team members to start, talking to her, and at least tell her your journeys and give her strength. And the moment she joined, everybody started very proactively, kind of. She was not talking; she was just listening, but at least she was listening. So mine was diverted to that, and then
Right.
after half an hour, my team member could get through her, and they called her, and they spoke to her for half an hour, 45 minutes, and she was calmed down. And then after 2 days, then she came back to us and she said that, thank you so much, because that day I could have done anything. I was in such a bad spot, and now you tell me what is your program and how can I work for the next step. So that was the biggest achievement for
I'm
us.
sure. Oh my God. I just got goosebumps, like just listening to this whole incident. And so you're not just touching life, you're actually literally saving lives in a way because, I think usually it's that moment. And that is why I think it's all the more important to, have this community. I think that means so much, right? Like when you have a community, when you know you're not alone, I think that itself can mean so much to anybody who's, going through this. Because like you said, it's, I think, a very lonely kind of a problem, right? Like anybody going through it, they feel so lonely. So that is really wonderful. So is it that you have a WhatsApp group of of fertility? Those like since you were just talking about it now, so I thought I'll just clarify. So there's like a WhatsApp group, is it? So
Yes.
anybody can join it? What's the
No,
process
no,
or
no. It's a very tight group.
okay,
Only people, only so we have this premium program. So
okay,
we have,
mhm,
so we verify them. We talk to them. Our
right,
coaches
right,
talk to them. Our first call with the coach is free. So we talk to them. We make sure that they are genuine people. Only women group. Even if the male partner connects with us, we say that your wife can join the WhatsApp group. Rest and
okay,
everything you can access, but this thing you have to join.
okay.
So we have
Yeah,
about
makes sense.
two, three WhatsApp groups as per the geotagging, about as per the locations. And
Okay,
because
great.
soon we were planning to move into an app, but bootstrapping badly, so we're not taking that step. But
Yes, yes, yes,
but
yes.
yeah, WhatsApp is
Mm.
doing that work for now.
Right, right. And maybe you never know in future, if things just go, you might as well have your app in the future. But yeah, it was really good to hear about the story. It gives a lot of hope as well, though it is a very sad situation also that what women go through. But at the end, it gives hope that, yeah, what you're doing, I'm sure it gives you a lot of high, when you are able to save somebody or touch somebody's life. So, Gitanjali, what do you think is the level of awareness generally in people related to fertility health? Like, do we really even understand it? Do we really even know much? Because you are somebody, of course, who knows a lot about this. You are into this. So, I'm sure you get a sense of, in general, like, are people really aware of this to the level that probably they should be. Of course, not everyone would know all the details or all the medically, but in general, the basic awareness. I mean, do you think we as a society have that kind of awareness? And are there any particular myths or misunderstandings which you think that it's important to break and it's important for us to understand that better?
So we don't really understand about fertility health because
Mhm.
currently it is in the reactive segment. As in,
Yeah.
when this happens and escalates to a point where you cannot manage it on your own,
Yes.
and
Yes.
then you have nothing but to react. So doctor will do. Doctor will say something and you will do. So all
Correct. Correct.
have reactive behavior. The need of the hour is to bring the fertility health into proactive segment. And because it's a lifestyle thing, because it is quite closely connected to your period health also, and your reproductive health. And if women are aware about it much younger, in their 20s, and they keep a tab on it and keep managing and they keep checking the parameters, then this problem will not escalate into a chronic things at a later stage. So that is, I would say, people very limitedly they know about fertility health. They hardly
Mm,
know.
mm.
PCOS के बारे में भी they hardly know.
Hardly
Uh,
know, right?
yeah. So maybe they must have just heard the word IVF, and I get such weird comments that I can't tell you. Somebody's
Mm.
mother-in-law thought that IVF means that they will be getting, because IVF is also known as a test tube baby. So she thought that the baby will be
Mm.
coming in a plastic bag.
Oh my God. I mean, that is like, so we are not aware at all. I think even of the basics, I mean, I think this is just something basic that we should be knowing. Yeah. Yeah. So
Uh, then there are a lot of girls who think that periods are not coming for 2-3 months. It's better, no? It's much cooler, chilling thing. आई नहीं रहा पीरियड
true.
झंझट ही नहीं है. What they
Uh,
don't
uh,
realize is they're going through PCOS, and with
yes.
time it is only going to escalate.
True, true, true. I
So
think this is very like, I just want to highlight this thing for the audience that it's very important to be proactive and not reactive. Like what you were saying. Yeah, 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 yeah. Please continue. Mm.
so this is the main thing. And when it comes to misunderstandings, and there is no dearth of misunderstandings in this segment. Okay, there is. So I can write a complete book on it. But the so the thing is that so society. So I say that infertility, when you manage fertility health, is just not about how you manage, but also how the society perceives it. Okay, the problem,
Yes.
biggest problem starts when your mom or tell your friend that मेरे को periods में problem हो रही है, they would say that अरे ठीक है, इस महीने stress हो रहा है, अगले महीने ठीक हो जाएगा.
Huh,
This,
huh. So,
so everything starts from this attitude itself, that a woman is expected to bear the pain. If this girl goes and says कि मेरे को बहुत pain हो रहा है periods में, mom or anybody of that
mm,
stature will say that अरे लड़कियों को तो pain झेलना चाहिए. You
mm,
should be able to
mm,
bear the pain. You are a girl. What they
mm.
don't understand is maybe she's having
Some,
endometriosis. Maybe she's
yes,
having low hemoglobin, because of which the pain is extreme. So
yes.
जब तक आपका वो thought process change नहीं होगा from taboo to a scientific thing, तब तक ये बहुत मुश्किल है. So all these myths and things start from here.
Correct, correct, correct. Very true, very true. And like you said, there's no dearth of, I think, the misunderstandings, and I think I think it's also very important to take this thing very seriously when it, like you said, when it has not escalated. I think हम wait करते हैं फिर जब एकदम ही, like, वैसा you're in a situation where you've affected, and then of course, so I think it's important to take this issue seriously from the beginning, and of course take actions as needed so that it really doesn't escalate. And women's health, in any case, I feel ki somewhere we probably don't, like you said, periods mein kuch problem hai, kuch aur pain hai. Most of the times it's like acha aise hi ho raha hoga, just take it, like basically ho jayega. So I think that attitude has to really change. So Gitanjali, before I go on to my last question, there was an anonymous, question from one of my page followers. I thought I'll just take it up with you during the session. The question was around that if somebody is planning a child, is there something like, what are the, I think, the practical things a woman probably should do, especially when she's in a little later age? Like, I think she means that, because nowadays a lot of couples do plan children, much later. So, keeping that in mind, I think she just wants to know that, what are the things, maybe, that as a proactive measure, she can do to ensure that, okay, at least, they are aware, they're on the right track with respect to planning the child.
Am I audible, Anupam?
Yeah, now I think there was some issue. So I hope you got my question. I'm not sure if, yeah, there was
No,
some
I got it.
technical.
Yeah. The thing that a woman who's around 30s mostly is this. Usually these days around 30s you start to plan the child
Right,
because of
right.
the education and the career. The first and the foremost thing is that you have to be very conscious. Conscious choices and kind of modify the lifestyle to more natural, organic, and more, as I said, that fertility planner thing. So planner is nothing but what you should eat, how much you should eat, and basically creating that environment for the baby to be conceived, because you have already done so much of harm, है ना? Needless to say that stress है आपका, ये वो आपने इतना
Right.
साल खाना पीना भी, कभी वीकेंड्स पे binge eating हो रहा है, देन आप केटो पे चले जा रहे हो बिल्कुल. So you have already played a lot of havoc, which you don't see, prima facie, but there are subtle things in your body. So you have to get the things right, number one. So, and number two is go check with a doctor, gynae doctor, and get these basic tests done. Basically, your hormone levels, so that one, you don't want to get into a miscarriage. Okay,
Yes.
conception is not the whole game. Carrying it for 9 months and having a healthy child and genetically healthy child. We are hearing so many cases of Down syndrome. Yesterday
Yes.
only I had a session with a lady who is working a very much advocating on fragile eggs, which is again another genetic issue happening for women who are in a little, who conceive at a little higher
Right.
age. So
Yes. Yes.
you have to get all these rooted out. You have to start on your vitamins and supplements, and for vitamins and supplements, not necessarily that you have to take in form of tablets, because that might have a side effect. Then go for the Indian sciences. Try to cover it up with the food items that you have, or the yoga, and
Right.
if you have PCOS or endometriosis, anything identified, then get it sorted, and then you should be able to conceive. Just in case you're not able to conceive by trying your best and by after changing your lifestyle, for minimum 6 months, then I suggest that you move on to a fertility expert and start getting their consultation. A fertility expert does not mean that the first thing you enter the clinic, they're going to ask you for IVF. IVF is the fag end, is the last end. A lot of they will give you some supplements to help you in the ovulation or in the male sperm count increase and other things. So go for it. But don't procrastinate and don't waste your time, because biological clock and your capacity to conceive are inversely
Yes.
proportional. So the moment your
Yes.
age is increasing, you are, so agar already आपका age is not on your friendly side, then don't waste your time. That's the
Correct.
main thing. I've seen
Correct.
so many couples who just waste their time thinking that no, no, we will stick to the gynae and we will not go to a fertility specialist. या
Hmm.
फिर and as वो आपको थोड़ा सा, you have to get proactive without any inhibition. See, in any case, you're not going to put it on Facebook that I am going to meet a fertility specialist. So
Right. Right.
just go meet and come back and see what is best for you. Take an informed decision. I always say that take an informed choice. ये नहीं होना चाहिए कि कल को आपका एज इतना बढ़ गया that you cannot trace back your steps, because age कभी वापस नहीं आएगा. The time will never rewind. So
Yes.
you
Yes.
should know कि आपके पास क्या टाइम है, क्या ऑप्शंस है, क्या क्या करने हैं. So check your options and then you take a choice, whatever you want
Yep.
to do.
Yep. Yep. I think that sounds perfectly, like very, say that's a sane advice. And I think I hope everybody who's watching, and even the one, who had this question, I'm sure you've answered it to satisfaction. So, Gitanjali, as your final thoughts on this topic, as the founder of Fertility Dose, what are those small practical things that you think the society, like, all of us, it's not just about who is going through this problem, but what is it that you think that each of us in our day-to-day lives can do better to support you, to support this cause, not just maybe fertility those, but also the cause, I think I don't really think we are doing enough. We are doing the right things, the enough right things for this. So yeah, what are the few things you think are important that we do as a society, which we keep in mind, which we can learn from you and implement it?
So one thing which we also did a creative and a campaign on this is that
Yes.
uh, uh, you know uh, don't ask questions, just hug her.
Hmm.
If you
Lovely.
know
Lovely.
a
Hmm.
friend of yours, a colleague, a neighbor, anybody, an office colleague, any friend, anybody you know, तो आपको थोड़ा भी लगता है कि she is going through this problem, she might be going through this problem, then uh, don't poke her even more.
Right. Right.
Be a little more conscious. So I'll tell you this one example. This lady was there and she connected with me and she said that she thinks that there's this new lady in the neighborhood who has come, who is going through this problem, and because this lady had herself gone through the problem, she understood that, because this lady will be a little cut off from the society, she was not so friendly, she wouldn't attend the kitty parties, and then she would थोड़ा छुप छुप के रहना, थोड़ा अपने अपने में रहना, and पता चल जाता है कि that you are married for X number of years and you don't have a kid. So she's consulted with me and she said, what can I do to help her out? And she's just a neighbor, so I can't just, breach the topic. So then together we figured out a way, and I said, why don't you just go and just say, talk to her and just say. So then she just went to her place one late evening and she said, oh, I was getting bored at my house, so I thought I'll just catch up with you and have a cup with you. Nothing about
Yes.
infertility, nothing about this, that, gyan, nothing like that. Just she, uh, 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 gave her a friendly hand. And then the ice breaking was done and the conversation started. Then next time this girl came to our house for a chai. Then like this the friendship increased a little bit, and then on her own this girl uh, you know conveyed, I mean, spoke to her and said that, Didi, I'm going through this and yeah, that was done. So the point here is that without judgment, with a little bit more consciousness,
Yes.
I'm not saying the society is wrong. A lot of times for us to ask about that how many kids you have, or when are you going to have a kids, is kind of an icebreaker conversation also.
Yes. Yes.
है ना?
Yes.
आप
Yes.
अभी क्या पूछोगे? आप किसी को जानते नहीं हो, पहली बार मिल रहे हो, तो you'll say ना कि अच्छा, where is your husband, what is he
हाँ,
working, what
वही
are you
general,
working?
yeah,
कितने
just to
बच्चे
have
हैं?
that general conversation. Yep, yep,
बट प्रॉब्लम क्या होता है कि जिसको इनफर्टिलिटी हो रही है उसको तो वो एकदम तीर जैसा लगता है.
of course, yes, yes,
तो यू हैव टू बी अ लिटिल माइंडफुल कि
yes,
आपको
very
थोड़ा
important.
सा, एंड वी विमेन आर वेरी स्मार्ट ना, हम गॉज कर लेते हैं चीजें, तो वो गट फीलिंग एंड गॉज आपको थोड़ा सा कर लेना है.
Right.
एंड इफ यू थिंक, देन अवॉइड दैट क्वेश्चन, गिव हर मोर टाइम, गिव योर रिलेशनशिप अ मोर टाइम. इफ यू नो somebody is going through it, then reach out to them, talk to them, start a conversation without being judgmental, without poking them, with the good intention of just talking to them, and I think that will solve most of the problems in this space.
Right, right, right. I think this is a very, very important point of being empathetic and mindful because, like you said, sometimes, the intention may not be wrong, but yet, you are ending up probably hurting someone. So, there, that mindfulness and, that consciousness really is important. We need to keep, watch on our actions and our words. So, yes, that's very true. And I really want to thank you, Gitanjali. I think this has been such an enriching and wonderful, conversation. You are doing great work. I love your clarity. I think the clarity with which you're just going about doing what you're doing, that's amazing. So I wish you all the best, for the future. And I hope fertility grows from strength to strength. And yes, my support is always there for your venture. So thank you once again.
Thank you so much, Anupama, for inviting me, and such a lovely conversation. I got a platform to openly talk about a lot of taboo issues. So, thank you so
Yes,
much.
yes, absolutely. So thank you, and thank you to the audience who've watched us. And yeah, even later this session will be available for viewing on my page. So please do share, your comments if you have any. And I will be back next week with another episode of Vicharsthal. And my guest in the next episode is going to be Kalpana Manivanan, and we are going to be talking about another important topic, which is sustainable living. So see you all, and bye.